Hi there, welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into episode or part 4 of volume 1 of my scrapbooks. This is a scrapbook that I had started from about 1972 with some pre-Stevie Nicks stuff that was related to her family through kind of sort of the Fleetwood Mac White Album. It's not 100% accurate, as I mentioned in other videos. I just don't know where you're coming in on all this, so I like to stress this. But it's as accurate and as timelined, streamlined as I can make it. So carrying on from where we left off, the next page that would have been in my scrapbook would have been from the Sunday Break Fleetwood Mac show, which happened in September of 1976. And I meant to look it up, but I'm pretty sure this is Lucy and this is Amy, which is Mick Fleetwood and Jenny Boyd's daughters. And this is Stevie Nicks with the two girls as well. These two photos, I'm not sure who this lady is, but these two photos were also personal photos that I had from the Gabrielle Aras, which I brought up in several videos, the one-time manager of Fleetwood Mac. And this lady looks familiar too, but I can't place her name either. But these were some nice photos. So these were just really unique finds in the stuff. I have some more pictures of the girls too, but those come up at a later time, I think. So that is that one. And then carrying on into just Fleetwood Mac live shows in general from, again, what I imagine are the 75 to 70, pre-77, pre-rumors range are these here. This was from a really cool magazine. This is it folded out here. I had a really, really hard time deciding to cut it up. It was a small magazine from Canada. And so you can tell by this photo, it's kind of digest size. So, like 5x7, maybe a little bit larger. But, as that size, it just stayed amongst my books and magazines just without being seen. And it was a compilation of a lot of different artists, like a little write-up, like on the back of this one might be Queen or David Bowie, I'm not sure. But it just wasn't being utilized. They weren't on the cover. It was just some odd little magazine. It doesn't go for very much, so it wasn't worth it reselling, and I didn't want to anyway because I wanted to keep this part. But I did this page recently, and it was really hard deciding to cut it up, but finally I just think it was the best choice. So with some other earlier photos of Stevie. And on the back, we have some more of Lindsay and kind of mixed in with Stevie. This, of course, being from that large Fleetwood Mac poster that came out in '76 that I like. I'm not the only one. I'm glad to see that I've read plenty of other people have cut theirs up too. And I was just reading a friend of mine in her Tumblr page. She says, I cut it up in a moment of weakness. And mine got ruined. And so I cut mine up. I never have replaced the poster. I've always wanted to, but it's freaking gigantic. It's a huge poster. And I don't know where the heck I'd have the space to put it anyway. So it's maybe just as well that I have it cut up like this. So then going forward, we have some other really cool. This was a really cute photo, even with the glare of her own hand. It's still really cool and pretty unique on its own. Just a one-off somebody had on eBay. Again, another picture cut from the poster. Then we have this really cool Stevie dual image. Not sure who the photographer is on that one either. This little one is by Arthur D. Amario. You got that from an eBay seller. And that person was able to tell me that. So that's cool that I have this one, though. This person's name. And then went with this one. I bought this one and this one together at a store in Hollywood a long time ago. It was really cool because you can see Stevie here, but I like the dual Lindsay as well. And this was a really great classic shot. And I believe this came out of that large box of photos that I got. Now we're getting into, you can see again, when I talk about early photos that were, or pages that were made versus more kind of fancy. I got real fancy with this one. Again, not too sure of the date. Could be much later in the Fleetwood Mac career of live shows and stuff like that, but I put it with the early ones. I may not be 100% right, but I thought I did real clever with this page. I really like the colors, and I like this little lacy cutout moon type thing. And then I stamped all the stars and stuff like that on the underneath here. Then these photos, I think, I try to remember what these were from. If these were a set that I bought, I don't think these are from my negatives. I honestly can't remember. Here's some more of them. And some more of those moons. So yeah, some nice early Stevie live performance shots. And even though it's kind of sparse, just like I said, that kind of the color working and stuff like that, I thought was kind of cool. Just patting myself on the back there a little bit. Some more early pictures. This one was not new, but I really liked it. I think it's cut off. I think it's just, but it was an original photo. I'm pretty sure that's got Sam's, I think this is Sam Emerson, the shot. Pretty sure. This one might have a stamp on the back. This one, I'm not sure. This one was, this is probably a copy. I didn't make the copy, but I think it's something that I got in a trade. But then these are all originals. Unfortunately, I was unable to get the name of who took these, though. These were little 5x7, almost like Polaroid shots, almost like. You can see they're kind of rippled with time. Some kind of have some dirt and stuff sticky on them. But really grateful to have these. Some damage here. Let's see if there's anything on the back. I don't think there was, but yeah, so nothing on the back. But you can kind of see, like I said, how kind of they're all kind of like that a little bit. So this was a really cool. I had a friend and we used to shop again in another store called Star World in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, and we got a lot of stuff from there. I used to go since I was a little kid, and then one of my best Stevie friends that I met around 1997, she ended up being friends with that guy who owned the store, and I've kind of somewhat vaguely stayed in touch, but I had made yet another friend, and then we started going to his shop all the time, and he used to always have the largest amount of Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac stuff that you could ever possibly want. Star World, I don't know, anybody else comment in the section, because that used to be the place. And then down the street was what did I say? Book City, which is where I had gotten the box of stuff. But my friend and I went and got photos. She got this one, and she got the original of this one, and this is a copy that she had made for me. And then I got this one, which is the original. This one is 11 by 14. Hers had been 11 by 14 as well. So these are definitely pretty unseen photos. And I love the just how they look here. Just I know they became a romantic thing and there was a relationship there and stuff like that, but there's just love. It just seemed like there was love, whether it was, in the form of, romance or it's just none of our business, but, there just seemed to be a musician, person. And, you know, they've always just, and the way she's looking at him here. And it's kind of got a little bit of the weirdness of, that was kind of like her boss or, there's that, but I don't know, but just as two people in general, I just always like, and they've always been able to maintain respect and admiration of each other up to this point, to this day, which has always been really a nice thing. So these were really some special shots. It was really nice to get those with my friend once upon a time when we used to go. And those were really good memories, being able to go to that store all the time. It was so fun. Just we never knew. Sometimes we'd call in and ask if he had something new. I went back in maybe 2000. I don't know when I met Stevie, so maybe that was 2011 or 13, I guess. And I went to the store and it was just everything was like Xeroxed. Everything was just like color. It was a bummer. He's still doing fine for himself, but and I think he still had like newer artists who, stayed on top with like newer artists and what was happening and what was popular. But any of the old stuff is just like photos from the internet, just, inkjet printer and stuff like that. It's really a disappointment. So this is a great sitting. I love this one. This is an original for me. It was cool to obtain the negative from, is it this one here? Yes, that one was a negative. I also had the 11 by 14 that went with it, but I sold that, but I maintained the negative. And this is a really cool little two-part. You can see the line going through it. I tried to line it up as best as possible, but this is like a Swedish bubblegum card set. So you got the two cards in two different sets, or two different times. They had a whole bunch of music artists, but Fleetwood Mac was part of it. So it was really fun tracking this down. And then just other shots from the session. I think it was kind of funny. Like I wish that it's kind of reminds me of that early when I showed you of Stevie and Christine and the girl in the chair, but obviously a completely different chair. And this would be more from the session. This one is another original. These were gifted to me, these little smaller ones, from I think Brian Kane. These are like 3x3s, but they're on really thick. They're really neat. I used to get really neat sizes from him. You like 6x6, 3x3, weird little sizes. Then sometimes I got like wallet size, which is kind of funny. And these things are from magazines. This one's cool. This little different one. I love how she's smiling in that one. It's so cute. But this one's my favorite. This one I got just seeing her barefoot and the little gypsy thing, which is my little outfit today, right? I went to pack away my winter clothes finally. It's August, and get out the summer clothes, which it's August. But I live in Oregon, right? So it doesn't really count. And probably summer's almost over, and I've had no part of summer anyway. But I opened up a box, and this is something a friend, I have a really dear friend, and she's a seamstress, and she'd made this for me, and I was like, oh my god, I'd forgotten to take this out all summer, so it's just perfect to have for these videos. This is another session that I absolutely love. These came onto the scene. I remember just were everywhere for a period of time. I don't know who got them and who put them out, but they're just so cool. And again, from Brian Kane, I was able. These are all like 8x8s roughly. Really grateful to get as many as I was able to from them. And look at how that chiffon is just a perfect shape and everything like that. Just gives a perfect silhouette. So these aren't originals. I think I have one original. I think no, maybe not. These are all from Brian Kane. It's unique. Then the last thing that I have is not even paged, it's not even put together, but it's a singular photo that goes with the session. It needs to be done up, like sticking to everything. It's weird. I have no idea why it has sticky like that on there, but this is the last one. This one I thought was an original. It has nothing on the back, but it's an 8x10, so I'm not sure. But yeah. So that'll wrap up pretty much the 19, like I said, I started in 1972 because you started from the beginning. You saw the paperwork I had from the Nix family. And like I said, the next volume was supposed to be rumors, but I had so much rumors that I was worried about making it into 2 volumes because there's so much stuff. I mean, they're at the heyday, so they're on, there's tons of magazine articles, tons of photos. But this edition, this book was a little bit thin, so it could be that I was going to start adding some of the rumors to this, and then I have a full other rumors album to start. But I've got to get that together because I will start filming that ASAP. And but I hope you like everything that you've seen here and enjoyed the first one. Please comment on everything, what you like, what you don't like, and like I said, I'm just going to be going all the way through all the sessions I have, and